Hey guys, welcome back. Today I thought I would talk to you and just give you a bit of a barefoot update. Since my last video I've had some really great comments and questions, and there's been a lot of support and a lot of people telling me that they're starting the Barefoot Investor journey as well. So congrats to you if you're doing that, well done. I'm sure you'll be seeing the results very soon. I've been doing it since the 1st of January now, so I thought it was a good time just to do an update and let you know how I'm finding it, if I've stuck to it, etc., all of those things. I guess one of the first things that really surprised me about Barefoot was that I sort of thought, oh yeah, I suppose we'll implement these things and we'll see the results after maybe 12 months. But it was literally the first pay. After I'd implemented what he tells you to do in the Barefoot and set up my accounts the way he told me to do, we were like, where has all this money come from? Even though we now had 20% of our wage going into a fire extinguisher account and 10% going into Smile, 10% going into Splurge, it didn't seem like those transfers really took away from our daily expenses account. It was really weird, but awesome, because what more could you want? The biggest thing that we've learnt from doing Barefoot is that we were eating our money. A lot of it. We'd do a big shop, we'd pay up to $200 for groceries, and I know some people pay a lot more than that, but that's a lot for us. So we'd pay up to $200, to feed 2 people for a whole week, and we'd do that on a Sunday, and then come Tuesday we'd be like, all right, well, what are we having for tea tonight? And we'd go to the supermarket again. We were also getting a lot of takeaway over the weekend and thinking that that wasn't adding up, but it was. So now in our daily expenses with our groceries, we account for $150 a week. And what we've been doing that really helps that is shopping Coles online, because I feel like if you've got a list and you can go through the specials and you can shop what's half price, and you might not particularly need that, but it's a good time to buy it if it's half price. We're saving so much money by doing that alone. And then we account for one night of takeaway, whether that's pizzas on a Friday night or something, and anything more than that comes out of our splurge. So one of the questions that I got on my last video was to go more in depth with how we have set up our accounts. We've really taken things one step further since my last video, and it's so not going to be for everyone, but it really, really works for us. With our daily expenses being just one account, registration, car servicing, medical appointments, our dog's vet bills, all of those sort of things that you're not seeing, they're not coming out. So you're sort of watching your account build up and build up. And I don't think we were disciplined enough to realize that that needs to accumulate so that we've got a lot of money in there for when the bloody rego comes, or for when the dog has to have God knows what, vaccines or whatever. And it just wasn't happening. So I think we were sort of like, oh, we've got a bit of extra money in expenses, let's go out for tea again. So because we're just a bit stupid. We've got our main everyday orange account, that's our daily expenses for our bills and daily expenses. And then everything that comes out of that is our groceries, our fuel, our bills that I can set up to automatically direct debit every fortnight. And then if you think of it as a bucket, inside our daily expenses bucket are 4 saver accounts. I know, but bear with me, okay? It will make sense to some people. In those 4 accounts, I've got health for obviously your doctors, because we don't have private health cover either. So we did have it and we found it didn't work for us. So we've gone with a health account where we're budgeting for medical expenses, plus we want that to just build up and have a bit of a backup there if anything, touch wood, would happen. Then we've got a dogs account, because again, we don't have pet insurance. So we've got, I think the last time we took our dogs to the vet, it was $170. So that was something that should have been saving up in daily expenses, but wasn't. In my head, these 4 accounts, so okay, we've got health, dogs, cars, and birthdays and Christmas gifts. So they are all supposed to be building up in your daily expenses account, but they're not doing anything in that account. They're not earning any interest or anything. So in my head, I sort of thought, well, if I separate it, then I can see very clearly we have got $200 for birthday and Christmas gifts this week, and we've got 4 birthdays. That means obviously we can only spend this amount of money on each person, blah, blah, blah. And then the same thing for our dogs. It's like, well, you know, we've got a couple of vet appointments coming up. That's good because we've got $300 saved in our dog's account. And you know that that is exactly what that money is for. It's for nothing else. And it's sitting in this separate account in your daily expenses bucket, building interest, because they're not things that come up regularly. So it might as well be doing something for you, you know? For the first month or so, we were sort of like, oh, you know, this comes up. What does that come out of? Is that a smile, or is that a fire extinguisher, or is that a daily expenses? Like, while we were working it all out, and I feel like every month for 4 months, we found more things that we'd forgotten that you need to pay for, like ambulance membership and stuff like that, where you're like, oh yeah, that, and you know, you work it out as you go along. That's why you have barefoot date nights. But yeah, for us, I really feel like it's just, I love the fact that at the moment, I don't have to ask where that comes from. Like, a birthday present was a perfect example. We had to buy someone a birthday present, and Laurie was like, well, do we take that out of daily expenses? And I'm like, well, we're actually not budgeting for that in daily expenses, so we're going to take it out of fire now. And that was when we implemented, okay, we need to account for that in our daily expenses. And now we've got an account there that's got $200 in it specifically for that. So yeah, and in that account, we've budgeted for our immediate family only for both birthday and Christmas. So, and I think it was $50 per present for both. So that was how I worked that out. Obviously, down the track, I would like to up that to include just when you randomly have someone's birthday pop up that, you know, you're really close friends with or whatever. At the moment, that comes out of my splurge. That's what we've done. And yeah, I know a lot of people, like the girls that I work with, some of them have been like, you're crazy, that's too many accounts. But it really works for us, and I'm a visual person, and I really need to see everything itemized and everything separate, and I love it. Since we've done it, I just feel like, okay, cool, because I'll tell you when I decided to do it. Decided to do it after I had my car serviced, and there was enough money in our daily expenses for the service, but then I needed 4 new tires, which I got really cheap, but it was like $250 cheap for 4 new tires if you ask me. But we didn't have that in our daily expenses, so then we had to use our fire extinguisher, and I was like, we should be accounting for things like that. They are things that do come up owning a car. So I need to have a special car account that I know has my back with my car, basically, because I really want my fire extinguisher to just work on paying off my car for now, and then paying off my mortgage. I don't want to have to keep forking out of it for things like that I should really be budgeting for anyway, because you know that they're going to come up. So you just never have to ask the question, what account does this come out of? Because you know they're all named, you can nickname them. I love that on ING app. So we've literally got daily expenses, smile, fire extinguisher, health, doggos, cars, birthday and Christmas, splurge. So that's what we've done. I feel like that was a really long-winded rant and it probably made no freaking sense. So if anyone wants more clarification on that, let me know below. Another question that I got on my last video was to explain which accounts I made joint and which accounts were separate. This question obviously comes from the fact that I said I separated our splurge account. So they're separate accounts. So I just want to mention that every single one of our accounts is joined except our splurge. And we've now got a little wager in place because Laurie likes to eat his splurge and I like to wear my splurge. So we've now got a bit of a bet going. The first person to get their splurge to $500 gets $100. So pretty confident that I can win that bet. It also for us was something, because we've been together for 5.5 years, and I sort of felt like every time a birthday or Christmas situation came up, we'd just go, oh, we'll just buy something joint together, or we just won't worry about it because it's coming out of the same account. So it felt a little bit pointless, and it wasn't much of a surprise or anything like that. Or we would just pick something and go, oh, okay, that'll be my birthday present. And it just, I don't know, it kind of took the fun out of it. So for me, having the separate splurges was a little bit kind of romantic, because now, like, if we go out for tea and it's not in our expenses, and Laurie's like, oh, I'm paying. it actually means something because it's coming out of his splurge, which is his money, to do whatever he wants to do with it, and he's choosing to buy me tea. And the same with the birthday thing. It's like, well, now a birthday present really means something because you had to stop buying crap for yourself to save up enough to buy my husband a birthday present. We've got goals coming up in the next few years. I'm very goal orientated, that we're saving for specific things, and we want to be able to chip as much away of our home loan that we can while still being able to live the life that we want to live. And I don't know, since discovering Barefoot, we've been able to do that and then some. Just want to sort of go over, since starting, what we've achieved and what we've got coming up that we would not have been able to do before starting this. So at the beginning of the year, we were pretty much paycheck to paycheck, had maybe a couple of grand in savings, and that was it. Literally, that was it. So we also had 2 credit cards that one of them had $1,000 left on it. The other one was closer to 2. We've paid both of those off. The minimum repayments, not including your fire extinguisher payments, for our first credit card were $50 a week. So when we paid that off, we then used that $50 a week that we were paying off our first credit card, and we put it onto the minimum repayments of our second credit card to up that payment, while also using the fire extinguisher to blow that out. And now we've done the exact same. So we're using our payments that we would have been paying on both of those credit cards. We're now putting those onto the minimum repayments of my car. So my car minimum repayments are $160 per fortnight, and we're now paying $330 per fortnight, and it's not breaking the bank because we were accounting for it before anyway. So that is extra money that's going to then, once we pay off the car, pay off our mortgage. So I feel like that was a really good idea for us because it's obviously helping us get those debts down quicker. Since starting, we've paid off 2 credit cards. We've chipped away probably $4 grand on my car, that, you know, we're gonna halve the loan time on that car, which is pretty cool. And we've also used our Smile account to book and pay for 2 weeks in Bali. We haven't had a holiday since our honeymoon. 2.5 years ago was the last time we had a holiday, and now we're going to Bali for 2 weeks in June and cannot wait. And the Smile account is also, so it's paid for the flights, obviously it's paid for the accommodation. It's also going to be our spending money because we've got enough in there that that's what we're able to do with. When we come back from Bali, there's a few things around the house that we want to do, so we're going to use our Smile account to do those things. Going to take that whole extra account thing one step further right now and say that I would ideally like to have my Smile account be 2 accounts. Basically, one saving for holidays only, exclusively holidays and weekends away, and the second one for house things. We don't want to miss out on a holiday while we're saving for a couch and a tally. Like, I'd like to still be building up a holiday expense while saving for things that are house related. And at the moment we're in a brand new house, so we built it and we don't need to renovate, but down the track we may buy something that's a little bit outdated, and I just think that it'd be good to have an account that is there for house stuff, so that when you want to update your furniture or whatever, or you want to renovate a bathroom, you got a nice little healthy bucket there of money to do house stuff with. One other thing I did want to mention, so currently in my previous video, my Mojo account was an offset account off my mortgage. I discovered that that was charging me $10 a month in fees. $10 a month in fees, and of course I wasn't putting very much money into it at all, so it worked out to just not be beneficial to me at all. So I have now gone and opened the Me Bank Mojo account as he suggests to do in the book. In this video I'm talking about me and my experiences and my husband's and what's worked for us and how we've found it. It's more like a video diary of our time doing the Barefoot Investor. I'm certainly not telling you how to live your life in any way, shape or form. So this is just my experience, and if it's helpful to somebody else, then great. And I really want to hear your feedback of what you're doing. Everyone has different ways of how they handle their finance, and it's good to hear different points of views. It was really cool to read the comments on my last video and just get an idea of what other people are doing and how they're doing the barefoot lifestyle and what works for them. It's just, I don't know, it's cool that we can all share these experiences and no one's judging because everyone's situation is different. So it's really cool. Cool to be a part of. Let me know how everybody else is going with it. I really, as I said, I enjoyed reading your comments, and I'd love to know if you guys have altered the base sort of template of how to structure your finances to suit you like I've done. I'd really love to hear if there's others that have done a similar thing to me, or if you've done something completely different. I want to hear it. I want to hear your comments. If you want me to mention anything, I'm happy to do another update in a few months' time, just to let you know how we're going and where we're at with everything. Best of luck to everybody with your barefoot journey. I want to hear updates from you guys and tell me how you're doing, tell me what you're doing, how it's working for you, and tell me if you love it, if you hate it, if you wish you'd never read the book, if you wish you'd read the book 10 years sooner like I do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.